Welcome to the Marketing Smarts Live Show by Marketing Pros and the Marketing Smarts Podcast, where we dive into B2B news, resources, valuable guest content, and much, much more each and every week. If you're a B2B marketer looking for a place to learn, keep up to date, and have some fun along the way, grab a beverage, a notepad, or at least some style of writing utensil, and welcome to the show. Hello to all my Marketing Smarts Live viewers. Today, I'm super excited to bring you yet another episode of the Marketing Smarts Live Show. This week's topic is all about maximizing your reach. That's right, key concerns in promoting and amplifying your content. So if you're ready to get your learn on, buckle up and let's get ready to rock and roll. I'm your boy, George B. Thomas, speaker, trainer, catalyst, and host of this year's show, the Marketing Smarts Live Show and the Marketing Smarts Podcast, found on your favorite podcast app. Our guest clips today are brought to you by none other than James Tennant. James Tennant, founder of Converge, a content promotion platform that helps B2B businesses reach significantly more of their target market. Well, he has 12 plus years of experience helping B2B companies and organizations of all sizes across many industries create and share content that educates, inspires, and brings value to their audiences. James has freelanced for eBay, Gumtree, Universal Studios, and the UK government, as well as hundreds of other businesses. Now, remember, the clips of James Tennant today are pulled from the full Marketing Smarts podcast episode. And if you want to listen to the full interview with James Tennant and myself, make sure to tune into the Marketing Smarts podcast. Link to the full show will be in the description below after the live show ends. Now, again, in this episode, I'm talking with James Tennant. We're talking about maximizing your reach. And in this first clip, I wanted to ask what success, or maybe best look at what the templates or a hack to reach that maximum reach of promoting and amplifying content. And here's what he had to say as far as that hack or template or success.
So I want to start this off by saying best is subjective. And best is what your audience thinks is best, not what you think is best. So those are the first two things I start this with. I don't think there's a template for this that would work for every business. There's a template that I use for my business, but it wouldn't work for a financial company. It might not work for a law firm. But there is one piece of type of content that I can give which I think would answer both of these questions, in that A, it's a very good type of content that you can create, that every company can create from today. That would maybe tick a best box. And B, it helps you promote your content as well. So it's something that you hopefully ticks both of the boxes here, and that is collaborative content. So every company should be doing this. This is a no-brainer for everybody. There's not an industry this wouldn't work for. There's not a company this wouldn't be easy for a content marketer to implement from today. Collaborative content does two things. One, it opens the door to building relationships with people that you want to build relationships with within your industry, whether they be potential customers or people that you want to build your sort of personal network with. It adds more value to the content because you're bringing industry experts in to share their advice and their opinions on topics. So it's not just you all the time. It's a wide range of opinions and advice that makes a piece of content, I think, in most cases, more valuable than if just a single person was doing it. And finally, it means that when you come to promoting that content, you have a handful of people who've been active, who've contributed to that content, who want that content to be seen by lots of people as well, because they're in it. So you have hopefully build up relationships with people that you want to build relationships with. You've created what I would consider to be potentially a better or best piece of content. And when it comes to promotion, you now have as many people as contributed to help you get that content out in front of their networks and beyond as well. So I hope that ticks the box on everything. It's a really easy one. It's something I tell companies all the time. One of the first things you should look to do, if you're not already doing it, is create more collaborative content.
Is all your content about you and by you? Are you bringing in others to your content to add value? If you are, what the heck does that collaboration content look like? Put the answer to that in the chat pane, or let me know on X using the hashtag MPB2B. And of course, tag me. I'm at George B. Thomas. Now we'll get back to James Tennant and his thoughts on maximizing your reach. Yep, those key concerns in promoting and amplifying your content. But first, I have to ask, are you part of the Marketing Profs community? If not, become part of the Marketing Profs community by heading over to mprofs.com/MP today. Now, it's time for one of my favorite sections in the B2B News, where we talk about breaking B2B news or really important tips we find on the Google News tab related to you and your B2B business. This week, the title is, Did MarTech Break B2B Marketing? I don't know, did it? If so, does AI present a solution or just bring us back to the same old question? Which comes first, marketing or technology? The birth of marketing technology brought so much potential to the marketing departments, but it was the early aughts. The internet was booming. The clouds was clouding. Adobe and Salesforce were innovating, and MarTech was about to turn the world on its head. Then the author, at that point, was a young, freshly minted MBA with a background in computer science and a 2-year stint doing software marketing at IBM, had just been hired by Red Hat, an upstart open source company with a lot of momentum. And he was like, hey, kids, we're just signing up for this Eloqua thing. We need you to set it up and figure out how we use it. We're one of Eloqua's first customers, and that's where his adventure began. You got to read this. They were doing all the playbooks, all the things back in the day: lead magnets, lead capture forms, lead scoring, lead ranking, lead routing, lead nurturing. The leading was leading. Anyway, tracking prospective activity on their website, and it was empowering. Plus, marketing was getting some extra respect in board meetings. Anyway, to read the rest of the article, check out the link below when the live show is over. I mean, you could check it out now, but hang around until we get done because there's a lot more coming. Let's get back to James, by the way, and his Marketing Smarts podcast episode. In this second clip, I asked James, what are the hurdles that most B2B marketers, or maybe just marketers in general, face pertaining to maximizing reach and promotion and amplifying the content? And here's what James had to share.
So from the report that we do, there's quite a few challenges that get. The biggest one, as I've already mentioned, is time. It's a lack of time, which I would say isn't necessarily a lack of time. It's more a lack of, or a question of priority, because if you're prioritizing content promotion as you should be, you wouldn't have no time to do it within your schedule. So that's the big one. Every year we keep hearing it. It's time. As I say, it's not really. It's priority. The others that we hear about as well, we often get comments from people that they feel a bit overwhelmed about all the stuff that needs to be done to promote content. It depends really on the type of content that you're producing and where you feel it needs to go, that I think leads to that feeling of overwhelmed, because if you've done your research and you know what type of content to produce and where to put it and in the formats you need to put it in, I don't think you would feel overwhelmed. I think this is when someone has possibly got a library of content and they're producing content regularly, and then they just don't know where to start. Now they've thought, oh, I need to promote that. Where do I start? I need to distribute this content across all these different channels. That means I need to start a Threads channel account. I need to, how active are we on Twitter? Have we been doing anything on Twitter? I need to get out on LinkedIn, or we need to start a YouTube channel. Repurposing would probably make someone feel quite overwhelmed as well. Like, oh, we've done a video, right? How do we turn that into a podcast and a blog? And then how do we put all of this video series together in a downloadable report? If you're feeling overwhelmed with the idea of doing content promotion, I think the problem there is a lack of planning and research in an earlier stage of your content strategy. So go back and fix that first, and you'll feel a lot less overwhelmed when it comes to doing the content promotion, because you're going to know exactly what you're creating and exactly how to promote it. And I think those are the two big challenges that we see that that businesses face. The other one, which I've sort of touched on before as well, is communication between departments. So if you if you have a sales department or stakeholders above you that you need that don't necessarily understand why it is you're doing what you're doing, or what you're doing, or how what you're doing affects them and the bottom line of the business, then you need to have those conversations. Everyone needs to be on the same page when it comes to creating content and promoting content. So yeah, communication with stakeholders, communication with other departments that are relevant to yours. Working out the content promotion should be a priority and not just something you need to find time to do. And avoid feeling overwhelmed by just planning your promotion before it gets to the point where you need to do the promotion.
Are you dealing with a lack of time? Are you prioritizing your content promotion? Do you have a problem with being overwhelmed around your content promotion process? Many of us do. Are you trying to be everywhere? X, Facebook, Pinterest, all the latest and greatest, TikTok. Does the word repurposing your content exude fear in your heart? What about your communication? Is it streamlined or healthy inside your organization or not? Well, we'll get back to James Tennant in a few minutes. Those are just a few questions you should be asking yourself, by the way. But we'll get back in a few minutes. But now it's time for some dope B2B learnings from the vault of Marketing Prof's articles. That's right. It's time to dig into the treasure trove of valuable information and pull out 2 pieces of gold to help you be a better B2B marketer. Article number 1 this week is Marketing Influencers: 4 Ways to Elevate Your Content Strategy and Amplify Your Outreach by Andrea Lair. An engaging content strategy has been an essential part of many successful marketing campaigns in recent years. However, only 30% of marketers say their content marketing efforts are effective. Luckily, there are now thousands of industry leaders out there who share their expertise online. They work hard to cultivate relationships and maintain their position as an authority within the industry, and connecting with them can help your brand tap into the power of influencer marketing, an outreach strategy that goes hand in hand with content marketing and the promotion of that content, because they're an influencer and have a community. Anyway, partnering with influencers helps get your message in front of a much larger audience and drive conversions, as well as help accelerate buyer decisions. Sure does. Article number 2 this week: Traditional content marketing is broken. Here's how amplified marketing can fix it, by Lindsay. I'm not sure, Lindsay, how to say your last name, and I do apologize, but I'm going to try it. It's Chepkema. Hopefully I got it right. Content marketing seems easy at the beginning. Blogs were new and wildly popular, and marketers saw an opportunity, a way to more personally and more directly connect with their audiences without the usual number of barriers between brand and audience. That was good for a while. Brands developed relationships with their audience that stepped away from the sales talk. Instead, brands acted as an expert resource. Search engine optimization got added to the mix as marketers embedded keywords in blog posts and ensured their content could be or beat others vying for an audience attention. We've always been trying to get our audience's attention. However, SEO strategy and the pressure to compete eventually led to a focus on content quality and quantity in service to search engines, not the audience. Want to keep learning more? If so, check out the links in the description below after the live show to get the access to both of Marketing Prof's articles. That's right, all the right links in all the right places at just the right time. All right, back to James Tennant. Let's dive back into this conversation of maximizing your reach, key concerns in promoting and amplifying your content. In this clip, I wanted to ask James, how do we know we've reached maximizing your reach, key concerns in promoting and amplifying content nirvana? Simply put, how do we know what success looks like? And here was his thoughts.
Yeah, more often than not, you'll probably see things like an increase in engagement on your content, whether that's living, whether it's it's on your blog or it's on a social media channel or a YouTube channel. More often than not, you'll see more people viewing it, more people engaging with it. That's the start, really. That's kind of how you'll start to see that your promotion's having an effect. But that's really kind of sort of top of funnel activity. but that has a habit of trickling its way down, doesn't it? So you start off with generating more awareness and more engagement with the content or marketing activity that you're doing. Hopefully that leads people down a funnel towards becoming a customer. But from what I've seen when I've talked to businesses and the feedback I get from them when they actually actively start promoting their content, is they start to see that it's more than just their colleagues or the people in their current network that are actually viewing and reading their content. And those are really the metrics that you're going to notice initially. It'll take a while before you start to see some of the other stuff like, people sharing their email in a gated download or becoming a newsletter subscriber or a subscriber to a podcast or YouTube channel. Those things will happen usually after several touch points. People are rarely kind of dive in after seeing one thing. It's usually a few things when they realize, okay, this is providing me with a lot of value. This is worth my time now. So I would say keep an eye on the top of funnel traffic, top of funnel metrics first. And you'll probably, if you're doing it right and you've done your research and everyone's on board and it's all going well, you'll see probably a significant increase in those metrics first. And that should tell you that you're on the right path. You've still got to monitor it and make sure, because traffic and views for views' sake is not always valuable. You want the right people reading and engaging with your content, but it's a good start anyway. That will help you know, okay, we are starting to reach more people now. Let's make sure these are the right people.
Are you seeing things like increased engagement from your audience or more views? Are you seeing things like more sales meetings, deals created, or sales closed, aka made money? Are you seeing that your audience is growing? Well, we'll get to some words of wisdom from James Tennant here in a few minutes, but right now it's time to turn the spotlight on you, the Marketing Profs community. Yep, time for From the hashtag MPB2B community. We search far and wide in the hashtag MPB2B universe to find amazing information and conversations to bring to you, the masses. So first, make sure you're using the hashtag. And second, make sure you have fun and add value to the community along the way. Then we'll spotlight you or your crew on the show. This week, it's Kathleen Gaines, driving lead generation strategies and corporate marketing training for brands and agencies utilizing the largest B2B marketing community and content creators. Sounds a little something like this on LinkedIn, by the way, her community post. Does your brand track social media KPIs? Question mark. Likes, follows, sales, leads. Fact is, your reputation is defined by the conversations on social with or without you. Is your audience reacting to your posts? Are there to answer support questions, or are you there to answer support questions? Are people talking about your brand good or bad? If you're not yet tracking your social media marketing, here's how to get started. And of course, there's a link, hashtag MPB2B, hashtag B2B, hashtag marketing, hashtag social media, hashtag followers, hashtag sales leads. Woo! But you need to check out the link in the description. Click to get to that post and then click to read and learn more. Marketing Smarts viewers, I have to ask, are you going to be next to get the spotlight? Remember, community, use the hashtag MPB2B on Facebook, LinkedIn, or X and get the light shined on your awesomeness in the next episode or a future episode of the Marketing Smarts live show. Pro tip, it won't hurt if you tag me in your post as well. I'm at George B. Thomas on LinkedIn and X, and Mr. George B. Thomas on the Book of Faces. Okay, let's kick it back to James Tennant and some words of wisdom around this topic of maximizing your reach, key concerns in promoting and amplifying your content. Here's what James Tennant wanted to leave us with as far as words of wisdom.
Honestly, I think the best advice I can give, I don't know if these are words of wisdom necessarily, but is to bake your content promotion into your content strategy from the beginning. It can no longer be a when I find the time tactic. There's too much noise. Organic reach on search and social media is diminishing all the time. You have to get active and relentless with your content promotion. And the only way to do that, I think, effectively, and to know you're going to be able to do it consistently, is to put it into your strategy and schedule and treat it as something that is as important as creating content in the first place. Kind of just reiterated a lot of what we've talked about today, but if there's one takeaway people get from listening to this, it's that make sure that you and your organization treat content promotion as importantly as they treat content creation, and you'll probably find that the content you're producing and have produced in the past will start to have a lot more of the impact on your business that you want it to have.
Is your promotion strategy baked into your process? Are you relentless with your promotion efforts? Is it in promotion in your strategy? I'm going to tell you, it needs to be. Have you enjoyed today's journey? Let us know. Use that hashtag MPB2B on whatever platform you're joining us on. It's time, ladies and gentlemen. That's right. Head to the description below. Click on the link to the full Marketing Smarts podcast with James Tennant and keep learning more about maximizing your reach, key concerns in promoting and amplifying your content. Remember, these were just a few clips of the original Marketing Smarts podcast interview. If you got value from today's show, hit that like, and better yet, share it with a friend. To keep learning more, hit subscribe or watch additional Marketing Props videos on your favorite social channel, or head over to our YouTube channel if you're not there yet. Or you can go tune into the original Marketing Smarts podcast episode on your favorite podcast app, of course. Don't forget to become part of the Marketing Profs community by heading over to mprofs.com/MP today. And as always, remember to be a happy, helpful, humble B2B marketing human. And we'll see you on the next episode of the Marketing Smarts Show next week.